All right, I'm Bob Terry, sitting here with James Hampton, right after Wild West Toys' third annual Vintage Toy Show here in Asa, Texas. And James has been graced us with his presence by being here with us and meeting all the guests and signing autographs and everything. And we just thank you so much for coming, James.
It's my pleasure. My wife Mary and I have enjoyed every minute of it.
You know, I tried to get my wife to sit here with us and talk with us.
Mine wouldn't come either.
Neither one of them would come. Oh, no.
They'll have to get a pedicure before they show up.
Yeah, I look awful. Yeah, right. But I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. I hadn't got much chance to visit with you.
Well, you were pretty busy.
So were you.
Well, thank you.
How did you get? We were watching you last night. We were watching you on the Series F Troop.
Oh my!
And you're very young.
Oh yeah.
On that, and you know, and you've done a few things before then. You know.
Yes.
A bit of stuff.
Yeah.
But how did you get the part on F Troop?
I believe it had something to do with God, because I'll tell you why. I had done 3 Gunsmokes and Dr. Kildare. Gunsmoke was thinking about adding me as another character on the show. I played the part of Jeb a couple of times. And I finished my 3rd Gunsmoke, and the director said, let's go have a drink, or let's go have a bite or something like that. And we went to this place, and I didn't know that important people hung out there, you know. But he introduced me to a man who was the casting director at Warner Brothers. And he said, you know, have your agent call me, because there's something I think you might be right for. Well, naturally, I forgot about it. Went on about and a couple of days later, my agent called me up and said, you need to get to Warner Brothers right away. They've been looking for you.
Oh, wow.
And I said, oh, okay. I had been out of the Army at that time a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. While I was in the Army, I was in the cavalry, but it's the armored cavalry. It's
right.
not real horses and stuff like that. I was in the 6th Armored Cav, stationed in Louisville, and where Fort Knox is.
Yeah.
That's where I was. And I was in F Troop of the 6th Armored Cav. And so I go to Warner Brothers, and they hand me this script to look at, and it says F Troop. And I went like, well, because me and God had a deal.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. We had a tete-a-tete. I didn't know that you could have a conversation with God, but that's what it was.
Gideon did.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was on the Czechoslovakian border, and snow was axle deep to a Ferris wheel, and we got loaded guns pointed at Czechoslovakians, and they got loaded guns pointed at us, and they're waiting for somebody to say, start the war. And it just seemed so absurd. And I started walking through the woods there in Bavaria, and I just opened my heart to say, Lord, is this the best that we can do, you know, and this and that, and so it got to, what is it you want to do? And I said, well, I want to be an actor. Well, what's stopping you? Well, I'm in the Army and everything, you know, and they said, no. Now, it's like a conversation.
All right.
And God said to me, no, what's stopping you is fear. If you don't try, you're sure not going to make it. But if you try your best and you don't make it, you'll still feel okay because you did your best. So I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. And I said, okay, I'll do that as soon as I get out of the Army. He said, oh, no. You're going to start right here where we are. It's like saying, what do you got in your hand? I got a stick. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
So he said, it's Christmas Day, so you can take today off. But by Monday, we're going to start this deal up. So now, I mean, he didn't use it that way, but I mean,
right.
the thoughts, I never had any thoughts like that before. On Monday, somebody had opened up my file somewhere in headquarters. They need somebody to run a spotlight because Colonel is going back to the States and they're going to have a little party for him. And he come across that I was a theater major at North Texas State. He must know how to run a spotlight. Well, I got 3 days TDY to go to headquarters. Turned out that the entertainment director was going home pretty soon too. The colonel asked me, could I run things? I'm a PFC. I said, yeah. I stayed for the next year and a half. And I won Best Actor in Europe in the Armed Forces. I put on plays. I took people USO and we did. And I was an actor in the Army. And so,
See, I didn't even know that job existed.
okay, neither did I. But he did. So I get out of the Army, and first thing I do is go back to my college they said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about your acting? I said, I heard that they're doing some plays over in Fort Worth, Casa Manana. I thought maybe I'd give this guy a call. And this lady, she was a professor, she ran the opera department. She said, no, don't call him. Go make sure you talk to him. You go and wait for him to talk to him. And I just did that, exactly. And the guy hired me.
Wow.
And I got my equity card and went to New York City. After I did 4 shows, I got an equity card.